In this session, we are looking at 8 essential skills of an effective facilitator. What are those skills that you must develop? Those skills that you must be good at if you will be an effective facilitator, right? And of course, for you to be a facilitator, there are elements that brings you to that point. There are different elements, different units, different resources, different things that you need to know that will bring you to that stage where you can say, okay, I am a great facilitator. That's why we have been looking at, we have gone through the process of deciding your workshop structure. We have gone through the process of how you can create innovative transformation. We have gone through the process of guiding principles. We have gone through different sessions. All of these are different moving parts and elements that you must know them and learn them to become an effective facilitator, not only locally, because at any international standard, any international level. So these things I'm teaching you, they're not just for a local setting. Good news is I've led sessions in 20 countries plus. So I've used them in different nations. They work anywhere, right? Just for you to be good at it, whether white people, black people, wherever, no problem. Even if you bring people who are green and red, we will still facilitate them and get paid, and life continues, right? Yeah. So these skills transcend anywhere you stand, and you are confident enough that you can deliver. And as I would like to say, in every sector, in every industry, in every profession, I believe that there are a set of skills, there are a set of foundational skills that you need to develop for you to be good at what you do. And as you begin to advance, you begin to notice that there are certain advanced skills that you need to know to become better at what you do. So let's get straight to it. Number one is mindset. Facilitation mindset. That is the first skill. As a facilitator, your job is to facilitate. There's a difference between training and facilitating. A trainer delivers knowledge. A facilitator guides people, enable people to go through the process of learning something. They do a lot on their own. Like we saw in the previous session, the facilitator owns the process, but the participants own the content and the conversation. You guide people. So you are not the hero here. You are not the expert. You're not here to come and claim how you know things. You come in a workshop session, you're quoting high grammar, high terms up and down. Yeah, that's nonsense. Your job is to walk people through. You are leading a session and a business plan. Don't come and start defining business strategy or all kind of strategy. You speak grammar for 30 minutes. You are just making noise. Your job is to facilitate the people, guide them to build their own business plan. It's not for you to show off how you have an MBA. Who cares about their MBA if people cannot go through the process of building their stuff? So you must have a facilitation mindset, not a hero mindset. Don't claim that you know too much. We know that you know, but help us to do things with our own hands. That's why we need you here. We don't want you to come and speak grammar. We want you here to help us build things with our own hands. If you are leading a workshop on how to create exciting birthday cakes, don't come and speak grammar and begin to define. A birthday is a day where somebody was born. You're like, are you okay? Nobody needs to define a birthday. Teach me how to make a cake for my husband, for my wife, whatever I want to do, the cake. Come and start defining a birthday is a day where somebody was born. We know, right? So don't have a facilitation mindset and not a hero mindset. Don't try to show off how good you are. Don't try to show off how smart you are. But instead, what do? Focus on helping the team to do their best work. Yes. Focus on helping the team to do their best work. So if if Hedwig, who is a career coach, is leading a session on how to develop or how to transition from one career to another, her job is to help people to develop a career plan that they can follow for the next 6 months, the next 1 year, to transition from one career to another, helping them to do their best work. So have the mindset of a facilitator. You are going to facilitate. You are going to guide people. And your facilitation is successful when people leave there with you achieving the 3H: hands, heads, and hearts. In their hands, they have a deliverable. In their mind, they have gone through a process that they can replicate on their own when you are not there. If you led a workshop on writing a business plan, let somebody go sit in their house and write a business plan without you being there. They're left with something in their head. And you should create transformation in their heart where they believe in what they are doing. Okay? So have this mindset. Number 2, one of the favorites is time management. And this is where, when you go back to the principles of facilitation, for time management to be successful, you need to learn how to own the agenda. You cannot successfully manage time in a workshop if you are not good at owning the agenda. You are not good at owning the process. You are not good at standing in the storm and making sure that the conversations are driven in the right direction. Never forget this. There's a direct relationship between owning the agenda and time management. And one thing you need to know about time management is psychology. Like, for example, like we're in this training right now. You guys already know that our session is maximum 2 hours. So if I do all this talking, and I go exceed 2 hours, some of you will be here, but your mind's left already. Your mind's left. I'm just having your body. Your mind and your spirit is already manifesting somewhere. Right? On there, we just have your body in attendance. And when you pay fee, you must pay attention. So as a trainer, I have assisted you not to pay attention because I have gone against the time. Because psychology is also in play. Right? So it is very important for you to be conscious about that, because when you announce something and give time, people also program their stuff. Right? So not only do you need to allocate just the right time needed to complete exercises, right? So if you are giving people activities, make sure they are timed. Okay, we're going to do a brainstorming session, and this session is 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, each group has 5 minutes to present. After that, for the next 30 minutes, we'll analyze the presentation and do recommendations and come out with a conclusion. Let's make sure that things are planned out and have a timekeeper that you follow. Okay? So make sure you are moving according to schedule and be able to adapt in case you are running out of time or over time. So time management is very important, and make sure you practice that. Okay? Number 3, shortcutting secular discussions is a skill. Yes, shortcutting secular discussions. As a facilitator, it is your job to nip secular discussions in the bud and make sure the group moves on. Yes, you should be very good at being decisive and shortcutting any discussion that is not in line with the workshop. It's a sub-leadership skill, and you must have it. There are some people that they are, because of fear, or I don't know whether it's low self-esteem or whatever, when people are driving, they'll just stand and be listening. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to stop them from talking. They don't know how to politely say, oh, thank you so much. That's a very good topic, but you are off topic. Let us focus on the things at hand. Right? Me, I always find a very funny way to say it. And before you know it, everybody will forget what they were saying, and we are back to the agenda. Okay, so find your style. Me, I prefer to use fun so that people don't feel disrespected when they are cutting them off. So find a way to use some people, you can just be kind enough, right? So I would just say, oh, that's a very important discussion. But if you continue that discussion, you will not eat after this, right? So just find a better way to add it, and people just, they'll be involved. Part of it, they will have the fun and they will enjoy it. But yet you are owning the process and you are respecting the skill of shortcutting secular discussions that can hinder you from achieving the workshop objectives, and make sure the workshop discussion moves on. Number 3, keeping the energy levels high. Let me submit to you guys. This is one of the most important skills in workshop facilitation, especially long workshops. You cannot successfully run a long workshop, a workshop that runs for 2 hours and above, without this skill. People will sleep in your session. People will WhatsApp and Facebook in your session. Even you get angry, but there's nothing you can do. So the best way to beat that is to make sure that you keep the energy levels high. And the energy levels start from you. It starts from your personality. It starts from how you talk. That's why better eat well before you go for any workshop. Very important. So that you make sure you have energy standards. Better dress well. Better wear the right shoes. Make sure you are very comfortable as much as possible, because if it is more than 2 hours, you need to have a plan to keep the energy levels high. The second way is make sure you fit a lot of activities and group engagement discussions in the workshop. The more people can engage with you, and as they're engaging with you, find a very high energy way to do it. That's why you see some workshops or some sessions, they will put the mic in a Dunlop or in something that cannot break. When you answer a question, you look at someone in the crowd and throw the mic to them. When they catch it, they now ask their own question or they answer. Those kind of things keep the energy levels high. It is your job as a facilitator to research all these activities or to creatively think. Many times, personally, I creatively think, what are the other ways I can do to make sure that I keep the energy levels high? So make sure your participants are engaged, and switch on ensures they can bring their A game to the workshop. If participants do not bring their A game to the workshop, the first person to hold responsible is you, the facilitator. You are highly guilty. Madam and Mr. Facilitator, if I come to your session and somebody is sleeping, you are the one I will hold responsible, not the participant, because you did not do your job very well as far as keeping the energy levels high for your people. Okay, so make sure you master that. Number 5, effectively dealing with troublemakers. You will have troublemakers in your session. There are some workshops that you will have trouble, especially youth workshops. Youth workshops or workshops in university campuses. Yeah, those kind of workshops. Sometimes it's hard to have this kind of troublemakers in, let's say, executive sessions or professional sessions. Some guys are mature enough, they try to comport and all of that. They know ethics and etc. But certain community programs and all of that, trust me, you can have any kind of troublemaker appear. You're in trouble. If you don't have the skill, you don't have the boldness to deal with troublemakers, they will mess up your workshop for you. You can completely turn a troublemaker's energy around and even make them your biggest supporter. You just need the right tools to do that. And one of the best tools is to involve them, talk to them, involve them, find a way to involve them. But of course, there are some troublemakers that they are so bent and making it inconvenient, making it so difficult for you, especially in university campuses, those kind of boys or those kind of girls. So at some point you can be decisive enough and you can discipline them and set them apart. But before that, that's the last option. The first option should be, how can you deal with them by turning the energy around and use them in your favor. Use them in your favor and do that. And you can do by coaching, one-on-one coaching, set them aside. Number two, you can involve them in the workshop activities. You can make them group leaders. You can give them responsibilities and all of that. You can ask them to teach what they claim they know, etc. You can use all of those things to deal with the troublemaker. Number 6, very important, give clear instructions. It's a skill in workshop facilitation. At the beginning of the session, in the middle, at the end, anywhere you are, giving very clear instructions to participants is very important. It plays a big role. So the favorite framework for giving clear instruction is called what, why, and how. What do you want them to do? Why should they do it? And how should it be delivered? Or how do you want them to do it? The how may not really be the how, but you are not breaking down, you are not treating everything for them. You're telling them, okay, this is what I want you to do, this is why you're doing it, and you have 10 minutes to get it done. Use the board markers, use the cardboard papers, and work on this. Then they start working on it, right? But you need to make sure that you give very clear instructions and use the framework of, this is what you should do, this is why we are doing it, and this is how. Being ready to adapt. I think that this is one of the most important. All are important, but this is important because you will meet almost anything on your workshop setting. You can design your workshop very well in a PowerPoint presentation, and you go and the PowerPoint is corrupt. What do? The flash is corrupt, the laptop is corrupt, or they told you, the guest facilitator, that there will be a projector. You now design your PowerPoint and you put pictures on displays and things you want people to see for better understanding. You now go and get there, and I'll tell you they did not succeed to get the projector. What do? These are things that have happened to me. What do? So you need to learn how to adapt. And one of the best ways to adapt is anticipate. Like this issue of the flash being corrupt and you losing your content. It happened to me once. That's why anytime I'm going to speak in an event, my PowerPoint is in my phone, in my Google Drive, and sits in my email draft. So no matter what happens, I have it in more than 2 places. I can always get it back or retrieve it. So one of the best ways to being ready to adapt is to anticipate. And you can anticipate and prepare, and things still happen, adapt in the process. There is no way to just avoid mishaps in your workshop. Little hiccups will happen here and there. But you sitting to complain does not make you a better facilitator. Oh, we're saying, getting angry about things going wrong here and there does not make you a better facilitator. What makes you a better facilitator is you intentionally adapting and making sure that the workshop progresses and you are able to produce the right result. Okay? The key here is to be prepared for each possible scenario and be willing to adapt ad hoc, be willing to adapt as soon as possible, no matter the challenges. Okay? Good. Number 8, establishing a psychological safe environment for sharing. Remember that a workshop can never be a workshop if people are not talking. If people are not talking, it's not a workshop. If people are not raising up their hands to participate, it is not a workshop. If people are not contributing, it is not a workshop. So you being able to create a structure or create a situation where people can excitedly contribute without being afraid. It's very important. And that is why in many workshops, the ground rules are very important. And your ground rules should involve encouraging the environment where people can share. People are safe psychologically. So you can go ahead and establish a ground rule stating that, okay, in like personally, like I always do, most of my ground rules to increase participation and create a safe environment psychologically is, number one, in this workshop, there is no wrong answer. There's no wrong question. There's no wrong answer. Number two, anything you say is welcome. Suggestions are welcome. Number three, everybody must participate in this workshop. I always say that upfront. So anytime I'm doing my rounds where I will tell people, okay, let's speak from the back to the front. I like to do that a lot. That way, everybody must speak. Either you're asking a question or you're telling me what you learned or something, but you must participate. But for this to happen, you need to establish a psychologically safe environment where your workshop participants can share freely. And you do this at the beginning of the workshop. Encourage people to share. Let people know that their levels of education does not matter. Let people know that language is not a barrier. Let people know that anything, stand up as a participant, freely express yourself, will understand. If you cannot speak in the language you can understand, we'll ask a translator in the hall and try to understand you and carry you along as much as possible. It is your best. Sometimes everybody will not participate. It's okay, but make sure you have done your part as the facilitator to establish that environment where people are psychologically safe when it comes to contribution. If you create an environment where people have, how do I call it? An environment where people have inferiority complex or low self-esteem, or an environment that promotes that others are more intelligent than others, others are more richer than others, others are more educated than others. No, it now minimizes. It doesn't mean that you should minimize people. It means that you should encourage greatness, encourage possibilities, encourage collaboration, encourage people to tap into their greatest potentials, which is their minds, to deliver. When everybody knows that you're there to push them to become better, no matter the level where they are, simple. Like in this particular session, whether you have a PhD here, or whether you have an MBA here, you have a bachelor's degree, HND, advanced level for school, you're not even going to school at all. As long as you can understand me, and as long as you know why you will, how important this knowledge is for you and this skill is for you, get it and go wrong with it. I will give examples using you. I don't need your educational background. I don't need your bank account to know you. Would you just need to be available and willing to make good use of it? You see? So when you do that, people are free to share, to ask their questions, and you can answer them, respond to them. For some people, you may say, okay, we'll cover this tomorrow, or we'll talk about this later, whatever, but make sure that people have that safe environment where they can share. This is critical because remember, you in a workshop, you may likely talk just about 20%. 80% activity and talking and all of that is in the hands of the participants. And that is why establishing a safe environment where people can share freely without being worried remains very, very critical. Okay, good. So these 8 skills are very important for you to develop them, master them, as they are the foundation of effective facilitation. There are other skills that you, of course, need to grow. Like we have not spoken about managing the hall. That's a skill, but you learn that in the process. We can start to there are tens of skills. But as I said, as you start, that's why as I said, start practicing. Many of these skills, you learn them in the process. But when you lay this foundation, have them in you off hand, and you can practice them effectively, they will make you a better facilitator. All right, everybody, that's it for today's session. Any question, raise up your hand and I will respond to them.